Okay. It's time to stand like a people. You know it's time to stand like a people today. It's time to stand like a people. Stand up and say, no more wondering, we're finally on our way. You know it's time to stand like a people. You know it's time to stand like a people today. It's time to stand like a people. Stand up and say, no more wondering, we are finally on our way. Brothers and sisters, today, you all today. There's work to do as a people, and it won't go away. We're the children called by heaven to do the work that must be done. Alive with faith and purpose to bring our people together as one. You know it's time to stand like a people. You know it's time to stand like a people today. It's time to stand like a people. Stand up and say, no more wondering, we are finally on our
take back our land. It's time to stand. Stand up. Stand up. Stand like a people. It's time to stand like a people today. It's time to stand like a people. Stand up and sing. No more wondering. We're gonna finally on our way.
Good morning, family.
Good morning, Mama Connie. Good morning, Mama Connie.
Blessings, everyone, and blessings to be here.
Yes, yes.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Our service is going to get started with our wonderful libation. Our libationist this morning is Father Mama Deli.
Yes.
This will be his first libation.
Yes.
And he just has decided to step up to the plate, being asked this morning. So we will hear from him as he brings our service to a start.
Good morning, family.
Good morning,
Good
Mama.
morning.
Well, not only are we in Jose, but this is the beginning of Black History Month.
Ashe.
Hey, come on now.
It's time to stand like a people.
Yes.
Hey,
And so
Ashe.
let us honor those who stood like people.
Yes.
Who stood like our people who stood for freedom.
Ashe.
And who stood for growth and development. And so we pour out libations today. We honor those who raised pyramids above the face of the earth.
Yes.
Who established kingdoms and states throughout West and Central Africa, the Yoruba, the Songhai, Ghana,
Yes.
Mali,
Come on.
Yes.
Songhai.
Yes.
But we also pour out libations to those who struggle for
difficulty hearing on Zoom.
And so we remember Nzinga. We remember Zumbi of Brazil. We remember Macandao of Haiti. Nat Turner of the United States. And so we will open it up for you to call on those cultural bearers, those persons who have been our ancestors and who showed us how to stand as a people.
Dr. Yosef Ben Yakin,
It's up.
Mr. and Mrs. Leroy and Hazel Carmen,
Marcus Garvey. Dr.
Mr.
Laura
and
D.
Mrs. Eugene and Willie Mae Young Sr.,
Harriet Tubman. W.
Malcolm X.
Martinez, Rebecca Cole,
Nathan Hare.
Modiba Nelson Mandela, Winnie Mandela,
Come and be with us.
Sankara.
Come and be with us.
Marcus Garvey. Malcolm X.
Come and be with us.
Dr. Betty Shabazz,
British Scott King children.
My cousin Meonte Brooks.
Steve Biko,
Thank you to all that have been with us, that have stood beside us, that have guided us, and that have pointed the way for our growth and our liberation. And so I want to say, that's not all of the names, but those are a few of the names that are special embodiments of who we want to be, what we should be. And so we say, Ashe,
Ashe,
Asheo. Brother Brahman Daily.
Okay, could everybody please stand, please? Okay, we're doing the Wolsey Community Affirmation. We will know God's truth to be free and self-determined.
Creator, help us to remember humanity,
Glory and suffering of our ancestors, and to honor the struggle of our elders.
All right, y'all, let's get in unison. Let us strive to bring new vision and life to our people. Let there be peace and harmony among us.
Let us be loving, sharing, and creative. Let us work, listen, study, and so we may learn, teach, and cultivate self-reliance.
Grant us power, O Holy One, as we struggle to resurrect our heart and our heart mind.
We raise our children according to the needs of our nation, with discipline, patience, devotion, and courage. We will strive to be the living models of the new direction of our people.
We are an African people.
We are the children of God.
I say.
I see you.
Announcements from Sacramento and Oakland.
Okay. Okay, first we're going to start with a couple of Oakland announcements. We're going to talk about some of our upcoming Sunday mornings. We're trying to bring in new and different speakers. But first of all, I sent out a thing this weekend. Last service, we talked about the ADDA and how they are trying to get dual citizenship for Burkina Faso and America and African Americans, people of the African diaspora. They're having a Zoom call this Saturday. We're going to have information on how to log into the call in the back after service, and I'm hoping somebody online can put this in the chat. On Sunday, February the 16th, 2 weeks from this morning, we're going to have Professor Menu Ampim is going to be our guest speaker. And that is, of course, part of African History Month, or as he taught us to call it, Black History Month, or as Menu taught us to call it, African Heritage Month. So that's on February 16th. And on March the 16th, Sister Wanda Sabir, who is a doctoral student in women's spirituality, will, for the first time, join us will address us from our pulpit. So it would be real interesting to hear what the message that Sister Wanda has for us. For the first time, in my recollection, the first time ever, we're going to have a joint service for us in Sacramento that's not part of an anniversary. This is something that Minister Mali Kofi and Minister Imhotep have put together to try to strengthen the bonds of our community, have us spend more time together. Minister Imhotep will be the speaker. That's on Sunday, April the 6th. 2 weeks after that, Sunday, April 20th, we're going to have our traditional Mama Jasiri Sunday. You know, with that, we do that every year to honor Mama Jasiri. Last but not least, after service today, there'll be some, we'll say, items in the back that you will have for purchase. There's a mug, a t-shirt, and a bag, or we'll say bag. This is thanks to some efforts of Baba Katabasi years ago who brought this to us. We still have them. Now we're going to do it. Additionally, there are two members of WOSE have written books that I want to just talk a minute about. One is called Music, Muscle, and the Masterful Arts. That's from Sister Dr. Sakina Hughes. It's about African American music before the Harlem Renaissance. And the other book, as I mentioned earlier, is Thoughts of a Newly Awakened Black Man by Brother John Jackson. I got mine yesterday and got into it last night, and I recommend it highly. It's a must read. The brother is very profound. Both of these books, the access to both, the books won't be in the back, but access how to get the books will be in the back after service. They're both available on Amazon, and that's it. Are there any messages, any announcements from Sacramento?
Yes, yes, there is.
You said it was going to be available at Marcus Bookstore? I didn't say that, no. I don't know if they will be or not.
I'm sorry.
Better than Amazon.
Yeah,
They support us. Amazon don't.
okay. So the question that's being asked in Oakland is, are the books going to be available at Marcus Bookstore? I don't know, but I will find out this week, and I'll do what it takes to make sure that Mike, 64 books. Thank you, Babu Usadi and Mama Nzinga.
All right, our announcements, some are overlapping. Want to invite you to join us for our intercessionary prayer for our Will Say family, Mondays and Fridays, 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. Pacific time. And you need to get this information to join us. This Zoom number and phone number will be put in the chat. Also, here in Sacramento on February 21st at Antioch Progressive Church, the Sacramento Black History Expo will be happening, and I don't see the time, but it's all day. Excuse me, it's on noon to 5 on Friday, and 11 to 5 on Saturday, February 21st and February 22nd. Also, I'm glad Baba Tayimba emphasized Brother John G. Jackson. I always add that G. There is no G, but Brother John Jackson wrote a book, just came out, Thoughts of a Newly Awakened Mind. And you know what? I don't think John is aware of Marcus Bookstores, so maybe we can put him in touch with Blanche and the Richardson family, and they can also sell it from that location. Want to remember, we just had a tragedy in the Potomac this week.
Yes.
And this sister, Professor Kia Duggins, was among those lost in the plane crash. She was set to begin a new chapter as a professor at Howard University School of Law. May her memory be an inspiration to all. And also Danisha Elder. She was a Black flight attendant killed on that flight as well. And that's all I have, other than to say, I believe that Mama Darnisha is getting married.
True.
One message that I will say about Women of Wow, Women of Will Say, we'll continue our meetings this next Wednesday, the 12th, and that's after Black Knowledge Matters. So we'll get back on our schedule of meeting the second Wednesday every month. Women of Will Say. Thank you.
Let me just say one more thing, and it's in the chat, but I'm unable to open it. For Brother Desmond's, Brother Desmond, oh, here he is right here. Well, never mind.
There should be Good Morning, Will Say.
Good morning, Bobby.
One of the things I wanted to put forward was February, it's in the chat as well, February, I think 14th, 15th, there's gonna be an HBCU basketball game. And also a battle of the bands within there. So it's gonna be here at the Oakland Arena. I think they're gonna be doing it back and forth from here in San Francisco. So get involved. I know I'm gonna go. Been talking about that for years. Another thing that's in the chat is the Black Joy Parade. A couple years ago, me and Mama Ty sung in the Black Joy Parade flying. And Mama Sydney, yes. And Mama Sydney, yeah, we are all together and having fun. And so come out and support. It's always a beautiful event to celebrate Black joy. And why is it done? Black joy is resistance. Right. Black joy is resistance. They want to suppress our feelings. They want to suppress, our ability to thrive and be happy. And so Black joy is about expressing that, living it, and remembering we have our talents and gifts that no one could take away.
Yes.
The last thing
What's
is
the date? The date, Black Joy.
the Black Joy Parade is February 23rd.
Okay.
It should also be in the chat. The last thing, I'm running as a California delegate for
Yes.
8018. which is open, Emeryville, and Alameda. And basically, you know, we lost this elections. Elections do matter, and we
Yes.
could really
Yes.
make a difference and make a change, but we just gotta be active. We gotta be active, and we can't just allow it to just run them up, right? And you see what happens when people just don't come out and vote. Or if we did vote and they cheated, we still
Yes.
gotta, you know, playing basketball, football, they cheat. You don't stop playing, you play harder and smarter. So we gotta use all the skills, we gotta use everything possible, physical, spiritual, mental, everybody to contribute to making a change and making this world better for the group.
I say.
For the most of us, for all of us. And so for what I'm gonna do, me and my slate, it's in the chat. Also, Amina's on the slate.
Yes.
Queen Amina, and she actually, during our anniversary or one of her events, she did libation. And she's a dancer. So we are gonna bring African-centered principles,
Gotcha.
principles of community over individualism, principles of Maat, truth, justice, righteousness, balance, order, reciprocity, to the Democratic Party, and hopefully make a difference. But
Gotcha.
we're not gonna give up. Thank you. Okay.
Now we're gonna have our.
Mama Connie,
Yes,
this is Minister Rana. I just wanted to clarify that Babatai said ADDA as the organization, and it is actually ADDI.
okay, thank you for that correction.
Yep.
Blessings. How's your mama?
She's there. She's fine.
Okay, all right.
She's checking y'all out.
Blessings. So now it's time for one.
I've also just, this is Mama Darnisha. I've just placed a link in the chat. I'm doing a very last minute for those who are available and interested this evening. If you would like to log on to Zoom and just have a very informal talk about my last couple of trips to Ghana and some of the things that are coming up. So very informal, about an hour, not a serious agenda, no big PowerPoint. But if those of you who may have some questions or are interested in some of the last adventures of the last year or so, I'm happy to share them this evening, 5 Pacific Standard Time, which will be 8 on the East Coast.
And that's going to be.
It will not be recorded, so there won't be a video of it. I did some interesting stuff this last trip, including I went to what is considered one of the most powerful shrines in Ghana. It's called Ngopo. It's kind of like, I think the Catholic Church is like stated the town is like the seat of hell or something, because it's where all this traditional religion has lived and never died. And I have some video and some photos that I would love to share, but I don't want them to be recorded. So if you're interested, come on through at 5 p.m. on the West Coast side.
In which channel, Darnisha?
It's on the link. It's in the chat.
Yeah.
It's on Zoom.
Which, can you tell us those that can't get into the chat?
Tell her to text.
I can't tell you this long Zoom link. It's too many things for me to repeat. It's a long link.
Thank you, Mama.
Yeah, but the password is 1865. You all know I'm Ubuntu 1865. The password is 1865, and I don't know if maybe it can get put on the website for a few hours or something.
Did you want her to send it to you, Ty?
Can she text it or email me?
Sure.
You send it to Ty?
Sure.
And I'll have it for the people here after service.
So we'll have it here. Okay.
Thank you, Darnisha.
Thank you.
Will do. Thank you all.
Appreciate you. Sounds of my aunt.
Okay, so this is a chant along. All right. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Thank you.
I say.
So thankful for our sounds of my aunt. They bring it all the time. They bring originality.
Yes.
This is music they do. They write, they put it together, they bring it to us, they bring all their instrumentation. So we're just thankful for you, brothers.
Yes.
We're thankful for our mama Latrice when she's here. We're thankful
Yes.
for a little Sankara because he
Yes.
brings it too.
Yes.
Thankful.
Yes.
Brother William, thankful to see you back in the house.
Yes,
We
yes,
miss
yes,
you.
yes,
So we're thankful for all of that.
yes, yes,
Thank you,
yes,
thank you, thank you.
yes.
Accolades to you. So now it's time for our historical tribute, and our presenter today is exquisite. He's very knowledgeable. He brings it also. That's Baba Deli. So we have to give him some praise.
Yeah. Right on.
Good morning. As we celebrate Black History Month or African Heritage
I
Month,
say.
there are two people that we should definitely be aware of, and that's Dr. Margaret T.G. Burroughs and Dr. Charles H. Wright. They are parents of the Black Museum movement. And as you all know, that I've worked in museums for the past few years, and so I've known each of them. And so it's I would like to honor them. Today in the United States, there are more than 300 institutions operating as museums, highlighting stories of Black people, our history, culture, and aesthetic expression. Slide 1.
Jeff?
Okay. Okay. Some of these institutions are housed in historic buildings. Such buildings include residences, homes of significant leaders from Frederick Douglass to Medgar Evers.
Yes.
Other edifices often function as businesses, schools, or houses of worship that now serve the needs of another facet of a vibrant, growing community. Today, many Black museums occupy structures built specifically for that purpose. Some are built with funds directly from the community, but Black people pay municipal, state, and federal taxes. So not surprisingly, Blacks have successfully petitioned and used such funds to establish institutions characterized as, quote, first voice, unquote, museums that reflect their image, their interests, and their aspirations.
Yes.
All this, however, would not have been possible without the inspiration of two visionary cultural warriors in our national Black community. Margaret Taylor Goss Burroughs, PhD, 1915 to 2010, from Chicago, and Charles Howard Wright, MD, 1918 to 2002, from Detroit. During the late 1950s and 60s, as young adults, they stood at the confluence of three swiftly moving currents: the Black Liberation Movement, Black Arts Movement, and Black Studies Movement. Together, they started the community-based Black Museums movement that would merge with the other swiftly moving currents to become a mighty river that would flow like the Nile. It would inundate or flood the surrounding plains with the nutrient-rich silt necessary for the fertile growth needed for the cultural sustenance of a people.
Yes, say that.
Margaret Burroughs, born in St. Louis, Louisiana, raised in Chicago, Illinois, gained distinction as a visual artist, writer, and educator. She taught for many years at the DuSable High School, named for the founder of Chicago, Jean-Baptiste DuSable, a Black man from Haiti. Burroughs was a prime mover in the establishment of organizations that nurtured African-American aesthetics, such as the Southside Community Arts Center, and this is in Chicago, or the Lake Meadows Art Fair, which is also in Chicago, and the countrywide National Conference of Artists. He would always raise the soul-searching query: what will your legacy be?
Yes.
In 1961, this founder of local and national organizations, with her husband Charles Burroughs and a group of interested supporters, would establish the Ebony Museum of Negro History and Art, first in the living room of her Bronzeville home in Chicago. Next slide. The institution in 1973 would move to Washington Park, purchased from the city of Chicago for $1. The institution would become known as the DuSable Museum of African American History. With a sense of perpetuity established, she said, quote, long after I am dead, the museum will still be here, end of quote. And while many were impressed by what she was able to accomplish, Burroughs was especially pleased to remark, quote, we grew out of the indigenous Black community. We weren't started by anybody downtown. We were started by our ordinary folk. Charles Wright was born in Dothan, Alabama, and he established his medical career in Detroit as an obstetrician and gynecologist who delivered more than 7,000 infants. Next slide. He also served as a professor in the School of Medicine at Wayne State University. Wow. He wrote articles for journals on OBGYN, health outcomes for Black Americans, and the history of Black physicians organization known as the National Medical Association. Indefatigable, Wright also had a commitment to civil rights, the civil rights movement, and he physically attended to the well-being of those who marched for social justice and treatment, equal treatment under the law. While on a trip to Europe, he visited a Danish war memorial. That sparked his interest in developing a museum with a specialized focus on African American history. He said, quote, I was committed to one of the most important tasks of our times, ensuring that generations, especially young African Americans, were made aware of and take pride in the history of their forebears, and their remarkable struggle for freedom. In 1965, Wright and a cadre of like-minded citizens opened the International Afro-American Museum. Next slide, please. The original museum occupied the basement of a three-story house that he owned. Wright set up his medical practice on the first floor, and the second floor functioned as the residence of his family. The institution continued to grow, and it moved twice into structures built by the city of Detroit. It would be known as the Museum of African American History, and shortly thereafter, the citizens insisted that it be renamed the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. It was the largest Black museum on planet Earth.
Yes.
Wow.
Until the Museum of African American History and Culture was established on the Mall in Washington, D.C. Dr. Burroughs and Dr. Wright were not selfish. Next slide, please. They shared stories of their hard-won achievements and triumphs over daunting challenges. Visitors to their institutions came from across the nation. They sought inspiration, encouragement, and know-how. Burroughs and Wright had birthed a Black museums movement contemporaneous with the Black liberation movement, Black arts movement, and Black studies movement. And hardly surprising, Burroughs and Wright joined forces to create what would be called the Association of African American Museums that would serve as a support network system, especially articulated through the annual conference. Next slide. The association, moreover, often seeks funding as it reallocates to constituent members, even as the organization tackles issues of everyday, such as book ban. The purpose of the association is to protect, preserve, and interpret African American art, history, and culture, as these institutions offer, quote, first voice, unquote, narratives of unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. Burroughs and Wright are to be revered. I am fortunate to have known each of them. Over the past decades, I have been affiliated with several different institutions, and so I will close with just a brief comment and a focus on each one. Next slide. Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History in Detroit celebrates King and Malcolm. It fosters conversations with leading thinkers and serves as a place even where the deceased notables may lie in honor or rest in honor or lie in state in its rotunda, filled with narratives about filled with visual arts narratives about the Black experience. The core exhibition, And Still We Rise, next slide, features vignettes of 21 in 22 galleries that move us from historic Africa to present-day Detroit. The Harrison Museum, next slide, of Roanoke, Virginia, maintains a multifaceted set of programs. While its core experience exalts the community's self-sufficiency and self-determination in yesteryears as it established hospitals and other healthcare facilities to take care of the needs of the medical needs of African Americans. And this was done at a time when African Americans certainly faced incontrovertibly racial caste prejudices. Next slide. The International Civil Rights Center and Museum in Greensboro, North Carolina, presents issues regarding civil and human rights, while the permanent exhibition explores 20th century battles for social justice, starting with the lunch counter sit-ins at F.W. Woolworth that spread like wildfire across the nation. Next slide. George Washington Carver Museum, Cultural and Genealogy Center in Austin, Texas, focuses on issues of regional history and genealogy, provides a venue for theatrical productions, and offers an interactive gallery, quote, let's pretend, Dr. Carver, replete with even lab coats for children.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
African American Museum and Library at Oakland, in Oakland, California. Next slide. It's a multifaceted institution. It functions as a venue for musical and theatrical performances, book launches, archival research, and a permanent exhibition examining Black development in the East Bay. It was these small to medium-sized museums, next slide, that fueled the development of the impressively large Museum of African American History and Culture that is part of the Smithsonian Institution. The plans for this museum were drafted more than a century ago.
Wow.
It may never have been developed if it were not for Dr. Burroughs and Dr. Wright, who birthed the Black Museums movement
Yes.
that have benefited us all today.
Yes.
Next slide. So thank you, and let us pour out libations to Dr. Burroughs and Dr. Wright.
That's good.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank Baba Babadeli again for that remarkable
Shit.
generous, this full of information.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I mean, that's a research project that you did there.
Yes.
That's very deep.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I say.
So now it's time for it's on to my aunt to bless us with some more music.
One more again, this one's called Sun People. So we're people of the sun, and you know, we came to get it done. All right?
And this is new. It's new off the hot.
I woke up, I came back this morning, contemplated what I had to do. See, every day I come to play, I'm all in, down to make it do just what it do. See, sunset on the sidelines got their reason, why they didn't come to say me back. But for that rap is brother just ain't falling. Cause where we be if that be where it's at? We're the people of the sun, and we can't get it done. All this fun and that's the fun. I'm trying to till my bones ain't working for the people. So tell me how you justify your time. Don't you know that after you's a sequel? So how you gonna play it out the line? The universe has got me out so last night.
Yeah, don't see the other guitar player, the bass guy.
Ancestors, they got me, I ain't stressed now. Guided by to do it for their sake. We're the people of the sun.
Have a good historical function. Have a good historical trip. That's part of the service, historical trip. They give you honor, they give you consideration.
I'd like to see it done.
Got me, I'm so blessed now.
of the sun. Yeah.
Can't you get it done? All this funk ain't just for fun. Don't drop, folks are one.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's y'all, some people.
Yes.
That was beautiful. Full of fun. Come on now. Yeah, that's how we do it in Mosaic.
Yes. Yashe.
So now it's time for our litany of sacrifice. We gotta pay bills. Baba Desmond's gonna come and do the litany.
I will say community. I am trying to move on and do a litany of the sacrifice, but I got the we are people of the sun.
Yeah.
We came to live it down.
Yeah.
We are the people of the sun.
Yeah.
We came to get it done.
Yeah.
We chant, we chant.
Yeah. Yeah. We chant your name. Yeah.
That was my it's new music, and that's what our people need.
Yes. Say that.
Raising vibrations.
Say that.
All right, the litany of sacrifice. It's also on the screen. Yes, please stand. For the reminder. Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth.
How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call upon the God of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring sacrifices to you.
We will praise your name, O Lord, for it is good. You can make a song out of that, huh? I bet you could do it. All right. I'm going to read the first one and you guys can follow. Umoja, unity. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Kuji Kagalia, self-determination. We
We
shall
shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our communities together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Together, we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together profit from them.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Umba, creativity. We shall do as much as we can, any way we can, leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it.
And all of us together,
Imani, hey, we will believe with all our hearts in our God, our people, and in the righteousness and victory of our struggle.
Amen.
Ashe.
And if you look on the screen, you have two ways to donate. Donate to Wose Oakland, or you can donate to Wose Sacramento. You can mail in your donation, contribution, or you could also, I think we also have Venmo and Cash App. Take a look at the address. We have another slide with Cash App and Venmo. That's the way I'm gonna pay. So, at this moment, let's pray over the offering.
Thank you.
Divine Father, my Mother, thank you for providing these blessings of resources. Though financial is not the only one, it helps and it helps us to maintain this building,
Yes.
our youth, our family, and our communities. Bless everyone's finances, those that have given and those that have not given. Bless them that they will be able to give next time. Bless that we use our resources to uplift, empower, to build community in your name. Bless us, bless finances, and multiply it abundantly. Amen and Ashe.
Ashe.
Shit.
Now it's time for the meat and potatoes of our service. Everything else has been very tasty and lovely this morning, but now it's time for our minister, lead minister, Kofi, Mally Kofi, coming up here, bringing it to us today. Some spiritual food to feed us and help us make it through the next week, next day. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you.
Before I do anything, I want to make sure I keep my friendship. So I'm gonna announce that Ustadi wants to make sure you understand the 2 o'clock today, the support group for Haiti is doing a program. The information's in the chat, but I just want also to say verbally, because we have to continue to understand that we are folks of the diaspora.
Yes.
What happens one place impacts us everywhere. And I think more than anything, these days are proving that. In case you didn't know, maybe I might be the only one, but what happens in DC impacts what happens in Oakland.
Yes.
If you have any doubt about that, just check the news the last few days. And I'm very happy and very proud that one of our own has taken on the challenge, because electoral politics can be quite a bit of other words. But I will say, well, is that it can't just be counted. And many times, many of us don't always put a lot of stock in taking on the challenge of the electoral process. But if you think it's not important, then just pay attention to some of the things that are already going on because of the misuse and abuse of that system. It doesn't mean it solves and corrects all the ills. We all understand that. But look at how it can be if the wrong people are having influence, which even if you don't support a particular party, you're still gonna be the ones paying the price. When you wanna go to the store and people are telling you how they're gonna make things cheaper, and you find out that eggs is at a record high, that impacts you and your pocketbook. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not independently wealthy. And then there are also the social things. I'm not gonna do my message around it today, but let not us forget that if not for other folks who came before we came here and thought it was important, thought it was significant enough that they made sacrifices, we shouldn't take it too petty either. I got my cousin here, and he knows in our family, there was a tradition around electoral politics. Anybody from Southern Texas, particularly Houston and Galveston, where our folks are from, look at it as a very important part of the family heritage, that if you don't do nothing else, you vote. But there is more to do. But at least you gotta do that part. Otherwise, it's pretty, you'll look pretty silly sitting there and whining and complaining about stuff, and you chose not to participate. Once again, it's not the cure-all and the answer-all for a lot of things, but there's a whole lot more problems that can occur. Part of my whole theme about striving to thrive in 25 is because I believe it's an opportunity.
Yes.
Let me say that again. I believe it's an opportunity because, you know, a lot of times it takes sometimes a very large foot in somebody behind. Okay, I won't say that. I'm sorry. He's my elder. Sometimes it takes something like that for us folks to realize where we really are and what we really have to deal with. And a lot of times we get comfortable. You know, there are folks who believe just because they don't have the chains out, that bondage is not trying to be done. Just because you don't see the handcuffs and you don't see people standing there with whips, doesn't mean that there's not a form of enslavement being attempted upon folks who should know better. Part of African History Month and African Heritage Month is a reminder of not just the historical perspectives, but a reminder of what it is we need to still stay on guard about. Our work ain't done. History is still continuing to be made. And it's not, this is the wrong time to get comfortable.
Yes.
This is the wrong time to get bitter. This is the wrong time to just, you know, get depressed or don't want us. You know, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be involved with it. It's the wrong time. And you ain't got an unlimited amount of time. You turn around and then go, oh, wait a minute. So please, y'all, like I said, this ain't my message today. But let's not forget, African Heritage Month was not a minor thing. It started as a week. You may not know the history, but it was the Bay Area that expanded it from 1 week to a month. It was Black History Month. It's actually Negro History Month with a capital N. And then it was Black History Month, and it became African History Month. Started by the Bay. And in that challenge, we cannot forget what brought us here. There's a historical piece that otherwise, if we don't pay attention to it, why are we even here? Say it again. Say it again. Why are we even here? Now, I want to really stress today, there's an issue we have about our belief system. If someone came to you and asked you, what do you believe? What would you say? I'm not talking about politics in terms of who it is you support to vote for. I'm talking about if you, as a person, was asked by somebody who didn't know about African heritage, about the sacred African way, about culture, history, and they asked you, what do you believe? What would you say? Do you know that there is a generation, probably 2 to 3 now, who are asking that question about us? Why do you do that African stuff? Why is that important to you? What does it mean? What is your heritage? What does it stand for? In case y'all don't know, we have some of the most educated and informed young people in history. Pam knows it. You got some gifted, talented folks, some young folks who look and behave as if they've been here a long time because of their awareness. Yet they are also the most uninformed people that you want to run into. There's a missing element. When you ask them what they believe, what do you think they're going to say? I know one thing. I was looking through material, and I want to thank Minister Imhotep because he allowed me to have this book that comes from our history, the book of songs and recitals. Maybe some of y'all have heard about it. In the early part of it, it has this paragraph. We believe that the Spirit of the Almighty God has called our people to struggle to create a better way, a better life, a better future for our children, and ultimately for all of humanity. Remember last couple of weeks ago, I was talking about the first. In Maat, which is being well done. Let me say that publicly. Desmond, you and the folks working with Maat, because it's not an easy topic, and the book is pretty challenging, but you've done a good work with it because you managed to get through 200 pages already. And 283, there's a page that says something about the first. Okay, I'll share it. You might not believe it. You could be thinking I'm making it up. Last couple of weeks ago, we mentioned 13 firsts. And one of them started with first know, love and respect oneself. Then another, love self first. A real basic principle that is challenging across the board.
That's right. Say it. Say it.
A lot of us folks take for granted self-love. One, because it's really hard to understand. We know about romantic love. We know about falling in love. We even know about puppy love. But self-love ain't that simple. Because it places you in a position that many of us are not comfortable with. Now, if you're already uncomfortable, I'm not going to stop because we need to talk about it, y'all. Self-love is a challenge for even those who believe they already understand love. Because self-love is not just what you hear. It is more than the surface. See, a lot of us know the superficial. A lot of us know the outward. But how many of us know the inward? See, self-love means I love me in spite of what I know about me. See, I know that most of y'all think y'all is really ridiculously lovable, especially some of the black who started. Yeah, I know he's a lovable type guy. Understand? And most of us talking about someone else would be readily agreeable to say, you know, I like that about them. I love them. But I remember some older folks used to say, you know, there are some people that I really, really like. Oh, you thought there was more? Yeah, they really, really like. But they didn't say, I really, really love them. Because loving somebody means more than just a simple notion. It is a challenge about how I treat myself and someone else. Because the only way with my eye that you can practice love, it is reciprocity. You have to love someone as if you are loving yourself. And that don't really always look that simple. Because, boy, we can be hard people to love. Oh, okay, just me and baby. We're the difficult folks. The rest of y'all probably get along quite well with each other. We ain't gonna say that during our family. But loving each other is beyond just a simple notion. Yet the basic principle of Maat starts with that first. First, love oneself. Because you're faking it. If you can't love yourself and say you love someone else, you're faking it. How can you love someone and you don't love yourself? How can you truly love someone and you don't know how to practice self-love? All right, you guys will make me go to the book. There are 10 features about what we believe. And the first part was in the paragraph you heard where we believe the Almighty God has given us a charge, a responsibility. And it's supposed to end the result that our children's lives and everyone else's lives should be improved, starting with our own. The issue about love has to have an outcome. It can't just be a statement. There should be some evidence that it works. Does it really work for you? Or is that just a wishful thinking? I hope it works. I wish it would work. See, the hard and uncomfortable part I want to share with you today, and y'all, is that many of us have been practicing and not performing true love. See, most of us have been taught the outward part. But that's false teaching. Because love has to start on the inside first. You have to become to awareness about who you really are. Love it anyhow. Come on, somebody. You got to be able to look in the mirror, see what's in there, and love it anyhow. With all your faults, with all your bumps, with all your dents, with all your imperfections, all of that has to be loved. Has to be. Not hopefully. Not I wish it would be. You hear me, Pam? Come on now. Because I know we've heard people talk about it before, but how hard is it to actually practice it? Boy, can I tell you, some of y'all make it tough on me. Okay, because I get along with everybody, right? I'm just local type of guy. The only spiritual system that said God lives through us and it's not an external, invisible ghost. I want you to know in advance, you have to thank our founder, one of our co-founders, Makalisi, for this list. He continues to give us gifts. And I want him to get his roses for this. The reasons I'm Cushite and Kemetic. The only spiritual system that does not have escapism as the explanation of the afterlife. The only historical spiritual system that officially made slavery of humans wrong. Hope your ears ain't on fire. The only spiritual system that teaches us that spiritual miracles come from your manifestation of the deity within. In other words, the God in you makes things happen, not somewhere out there, although we've been taught well to look for that. The only spiritual system that does not teach that there's some supernatural evil being that challenges the Creator. Instead, it teaches that such an evil being is none other than another man or woman. Okay, God bless you. We might have to leave early about that. Because we really would like to blame it on somebody, other than another person, like even our own self. The only spiritual system that does not act as a religion with all the answers, but as a science that reveals answers and corrects itself. The only spiritual system practiced by the African race that enabled them to defeat enemies for thousands of years. The only spiritual system that places both genders as fully representative of the supreme being. The only spiritual system that is holistic in regards to one's physical health and spiritual wealth. And finally, the only spiritual system that defines truth, not by doctrine and dogma, but by its ability to establish harmony and balance with the world around it.
Yes.
Sound familiar?
Yes.
Sounds like Maat.
Yes.
Harmony and balance. And it is the oldest known spiritual system in existence. And it has an outcome that has proven itself for thousands of years. What do we believe? Do we believe the evidence, or do we believe the nonsense? That people who are invested in lying to us, corrupting us, confusing us, disabling us, would tell you different. Uh-oh. So yes, there's an agenda for religion, which is different than spirituality. See, spiritual systems uplift. Religions put down. They're your fear-based tactics get you in line. If you don't do it right, you won't go to heaven. Yeah. See, and we take it as what they call gospel. That somehow it makes sense to you who are already struggling, downtrodden, enslaved, being held hostage. You should just put up with more. Because that's a good thing. There's some type of pride in suffering. There's some type of, what do they call it? There's some type of higher, you're looked at better because you can put up with more mess. Mess, not put up with more benefits, not put up with more success, but put up with more mess. So you can, relax. Don't get free. Don't look for liberation. Don't try to change yourselves for the better. God got it. Sometime, somewhere in the future, maybe. Maybe. I'm not, first of all, let's make this clear. I'm not anti God. I'm not against the Holy Spirit. What I am about is the truth. See, the truth is supposed to be self-evident. It's a part of the 10 virtues that you should be able to understand the real and the unreal. It's real that I should have a common, connected belief system that only lifts me up. That's supposed to be real. Yeah. And it's unreal for me to be patient while others benefit off of my misery. I don't know about y'all, but something's twisted with that picture. You wonder why young people are worried about us? We've been telling them for hundreds of years things are supposed to get better. And the evidence ain't proving that. They still struggle. Because if you're not making progress and you're stuck in the same place, you're struggling. Don't nobody else but us somehow miss that point. You wake up every day doing the same old things, getting the same old results, and you still say, oh, but it's just going to change around the corner. Without the ammunition, without the information that will actually make those conditions change. Say it. We're fortunate. Maat gives us a roadmap. The divine has blessed us with an element of the divine that allows you to discern. Some of the stuff is mess. Some of the stuff is madness. Some of the stuff is designed to keep you exactly where you are. It ain't an accident. No. It's not a coincidence. Right. So I don't want to even begin to fool you or suggest that somehow this just happened to be that way. There was a conscious plan put in place by those who had designs on the dominance of the world. Anybody that's heard about manifest destiny? Yeah. Where they understand about white supremacy, when you understand those concepts, they're actually practices. Yeah. People do stuff to make that happen. Yeah. So therefore, we got to do stuff to undo it. Yeah. We got to do some stuff. That's why politics matter. Because we got to do some stuff. And we got to do it in all the arenas. Church houses, community centers, families, organizations. We got to do it wherever we be. This is African Heritage Month. And part of the heritage is not just to struggle without ending, but to be successful. Come on. Babadelli was talking about museums that are real, concrete, not the concept of a museum, not the idea, which are nice. But the real deal is, versus the unreal, is actual accomplished things. The church in theory ain't that successful. A school in theory would just still be a plan if Iliomade wasn't made real. Come on, y'all. You got the evidence. You've seen it yourself. This shouldn't be new news. But I want to say this morning, besides the first, besides Maat, besides the values, the morals, the principles, there is a roadmap. And it didn't happen by accident. The divine placed it here so people with a measure of the divine could get it for themselves. Talk to me this morning. For themselves. Not so Desmond becomes good at teaching me how to live. It's so that Desmond gets good at teaching himself how to live, and then he can pass it on to his child. Come on, y'all. Because it can't be a well-held secret. It should be something so valuable, I can't wait to tell somebody else. I don't know about y'all, but see, I got a family of some hardheads who ain't easy sales, George. And we go and we talk to him. He's been doing it longer than me. And I get wore out. But see, the point is that it can't be my own private type of joy. The best joy is a share. I don't know about y'all this morning. The best joy is one that we all get to smile. We all have some fun. When I play double six on Ustadi and then he don't have six tray, I get a lot of joy. I enjoy myself because I'm coming with another 15. Oh, y'all ain't heard me. Everybody have a dream. Come on. Oh, everybody heard me. It's so much for us to appreciate and to celebrate. We jumped off. We got so much. We can't sell ourselves short. Say it. Please don't. There'll be plenty of time for boo birds to come around. George, they may not know what boo birds are. Yeah, it's an old phrase. But there's always going to be some folks we're going, no, y'all, that ain't the right way to do this. Oh, it ain't gonna work. We tried that in 47, I didn't go too well. Well, I ain't gonna talk about older people, but I just want you all to know that that is not the thing that will sell what we're trying to do. Because we also have a list of successes.
Yes.
You guys are one of them. See, y'all the evidence. Otherwise, I'd be by myself standing here looking at a study. But we are the best evidence that the divine has placed something of value. You understand? Something of value. So when Kalabazi speaks, he ain't just speaking to himself. And he has something of value to offer. Sister Zing, don't give up your treasure. Remember that statement? You heard that one before. We all have a treasure. We all have a gift. And it ain't for it just to be tossed. It's to be shared in a meaningful way. So that people see the value in what we're talking about. Sure, they might be a bit wondering. I always enjoy that look on their face when I tell them what time it is. First of all, it ain't new news. Second of all, it's good news. It's very good news. And I wanted to say it to those who don't know better. Do you believe? Do you believe that what you're practicing has a value beyond yourself? Do you believe it?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure
Yes.
I'm in the right place.
Yes.
Because when you believe it, then you can make it thus and so.
Yes.
And then it ain't really that hard to share with others. You're not looking, remember the statement about miracles? Miracles are the result of something inward that gets expressed outward and affects everything around it. Y'all are the first evidence of miracles. Come on, y'all. You know, Pam, I gotta refer to you when it comes to a miracle, because maybe y'all don't know her story. I gangstered her out her story, so I know now. See, I visited her house, mobbed on her husband and stuff, got some goodies. Understand? We have miracles that can only explain why Ty is sitting where he is, why Connie is who she is. Come on, y'all.
Yes.
Am I the only one?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because if I'm the only one, shame on y'all. Because I'm living in miracles. Because I know it took a major miracle to get me here at this point in my life. And that man knows better than most anyone. And there was a whole bunch of bets that wouldn't have me standing here. Bunch of them. Thank you, George. Yeah. Y'all gotta realize that you don't just sit on that comfort zone.
Come on now.
It is good news.
Teach good.
And what do we do with good news?
We share it.
Oh, Connie.
We share it.
Checks in the mail, son. We share it. We tell others about it. That's when we know it's good news.
Yeah.
That's when we know we believe it. That's when we know we're going to do more than what we think we can.
Good.
Come on, somebody. I haven't been here 20 years.
Well,
come on.
Just in case you didn't know.
Right.
Understand? And I've already watched the miracles work.
Yes.
Come on.
Because it just can't be no other explanation for it. Me and Mama Pam getting along. Major miracles. Come on now. Y'all, come on. Come on.
Be real.
Come on.
Be real.
The last piece. In order for us to truly thrive in 25 is to have a transformative experience. Did I slip that past you? A transformative experience.
Come on now.
If you come to this and you're still the same person you was yesterday, you're not. It's supposed to change. who you be. It's supposed to touch you in ways that moves you from one place to the next. It doesn't mean that you suddenly walk on the clouds and you're doing stuff with your hands and everybody falling down, but it does mean you change. You change.
Come on now.
If you wake up tomorrow and you're still doing some of the same things you were doing the day before, you might want to question whether or not you have changed.
Well, come on.
And I don't mean doing different. We all change our clothes. Can't we, Dad? Even though he looks distinctively good in that mud cloth, that's one of my favorite materials, but still, he got to do more than change his clothes.
Come on, teach good.
We all should be able, as an example to others, that this is a transformative experience.
See?
One of the good things in the Christian faith is, what do they talk about, Sister Zinga? Have you changed? Or are you just doing stuff different? Right? Okay, I just want to make sure. I was there a long time. And I know when it comes to those types of things, that's what we should be looking for. Am I changed? Am I someone other than who I was when I first walked in the door, whatever years that was? Because somehow, some way, being a part of WOZAC, being a part of the belief system, being a Cushite Kemetic person, being a practitioner of the sacred African way should fundamentally change who you are.
Come on, teach good. Come on.
Come on, y'all. And that's my challenge. Baba Tai is one of my inspirations because he took what Baba Jahid had said about a challenge and he took it on. And he's working on it right as we speak. I bet it was going to change some things for him too. Because he's an organized man.
Yes, yeah.
Very stoic. One of the first impressions he made about me was about time. Oh yeah. And he made me understand it was supposed to be a reason why you have a clock. Understand? And yet, what he's doing with what he's trying to accomplish as his goal is going to change him.
Yeah.
It ain't just for our benefit.
Right.
We're going to benefit from it, from what he accomplishes. But first and foremost, it's going to change him. What about you?
Yeah.
What do you believe? Y'all feel me?
Yeah.
Is there something that fundamentally is going on with you that should be different? And more than that, it should change who you are? I guess I won't take it no further for now. That's kind of a tease, George. My elder said, like, all right, a little bit more. To a little piece.
Okay, come on now. Bring the little one. Come on.
This thing about transformative change.
Yeah.
It's supposed to have markers. You're supposed to be able to look at it and identify something that's changed. And it can only be if you're aware of who you already are.
Teach good. Yeah.
Okay. See, back to the self-love.
Teach.
Because if you love who you see in the mirror, then you have a truthful, honest view of yourself.
Yeah.
You know who you be.
Right.
Is that who you want to be forever? Unchanged? Unmoved? What do you think, Todd?
No, we all
Okay, I'll make sure.
strive to get better.
You know, everybody's efforts should be around how I can grow,
Yeah.
how I can improve, how I strive to thrive at 25. Somebody get that down, write that down. It's gonna be our message for the year. For all those Democrats that say they want my support, let them learn that part. If we're gonna do anything, we have to strive to thrive. We can no longer be satisfied with just survival. This is an opportunity for us to do more than what we've been doing. Uh-oh.
Teach good, teach good.
So that means we're all being called out. We're all being called out. I have, first of all, as a minister, a higher power, a divine element who I am responsible to.
Yeah.
Even if y'all love me, like me, or whatever, at the end of the day, and I hate that little statement, but I'm gonna use it, I have to go home and look at me in the mirror. And if that picture is not good, then I can't be okay. I'm not gonna sleep well, George. You understand? And guess who's my best mirrors? My children. They know if I'm faking.
Right.
My sisters, they know. If I'm not being true to really being a representative of change, they know it first.
Right.
Boy, like most sisters, I really don't want to hear a lot of that because they don't spare me none.
All right now, they take
You're a minister, you can take it.
Okay.
That's right.
And for those of y'all who may not have no sisters, they're your wives. Just in case you thought you were spared. Because you know Kanabazi. Yeah, you can't even tell them what you say. Really. I'm gonna get you in trouble. But understand, y'all, we all have a power beyond us we have to answer to.
Come on now, teach good.
And most of it is inward now.
All right.
Because see, that's what whether I can sleep well, whether I can face myself, whether I can speak to others and still hold my head up.
Yeah.
Y'all feel me?
Gotcha.
So that's what I want to give y'all with. Is that part of the challenge, part of the discipline, part of the practice is to be able to look at me.
I say, I hear you.
And regardless of my flaws,
Yeah.
regardless of my shortcomings,
Yeah.
I have to love what's there
That's right.
and strive
That's right.
to get better.
That's right.
Teach.
Y'all feel me today?
That's right.
Is that all right with
Yes.
y'all? Did I just end it right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ashe.
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 Asheo. Sante San.
Brothers and sisters, thank you, Minister Matty Kofi, for a very powerful sermon, a very powerful message, a lot of challenges in that message. And so the doors of the Wilson community are open to anybody, any of those in the Zoom audience or those here in our sitting audience are ready to take that step, to make that leap. We're here. You see what we're about. We've been here for some 40 years.
Yes.
Our intention is to go for another 40 years, doing just what we're doing here now with some additions as we move forward. But the doors are open.
Yes.
And for those that don't have a church home, you've been looking for a while, come on. Your Wilson community is up. You know, we've been doing this work, it's worthwhile work. And the challenge that Minister Miley left with us, I think, was probably worth revisiting or repeating, because we had some of the similar things that popped up in our book discussion this morning. And that's that notion on joy and on self-love and beginning with loving yourself. These are very important concepts. They may seem somewhat simplistic on the surface, but once you go down beneath a little bit more, you see the gravity of those ideas and those concepts and how they manifest and express themselves in our lives. And so, yeah, we're always talking about Maat, always calling for Maat, always praising Maat, and we're growing in Maat. And so you all are welcome to join us. I mean, we're not trying to keep it to ourselves.
Come on now.
We're willing to share what we have and what we've learned all these years. And going forward over these next few years, there's likely to be a lot of stress in the society, stress in our lives and family members. You're going to need something, something to hold on to. You're going to need something to help validate yourself, you know, your thoughts, your ideas. And so don't just, spend that time on anything. Check out the Wosek community. Check us out on YouTube. Look at some of our older presentations. And you'll see, we've been doing this all these years.
Yes. Come on now.
That's right. And all the various book studies that I was about to say brother, but I'm going to say Baba Iman has led for just a number of years of late, and I've been pleased to be a part of many of those book discussions. And everything that we do, you know, is all about expressing Ma'at, all about reaching out to our people, you know, and you see it from the beginning of our services right through. You see it reflected in the music of Brother David and the sounds of Ma'at. You know, David writes excellent tunes and songs that reflect the philosophy right along with what we're preaching from the pulpit. We're beginning our book discussions. But even beyond that, Minister Imhotep has done a wonderful job. And I'm so glad that Minister Imhotep is better and getting strong and back with us. But he's been doing Black Knowledge Matters for a number of years. Brought in guests and we've had various discussions. So there's just a whole body of things that goes on within the Muslim community that just doesn't take place right here on Sunday. So yeah, so you're invited. I don't hear any voices. I don't see any hands in the audience here. So I can't see the gallery, so I don't know if there's any raised hands out there. If there are, make yourself known, and we'll get in contact with you and embrace you, bring you into the Muslim community. So
Lift every voice.
With that being said, we're going to move to the next segment of the service, which is part of the closing. We're going to lift every voice.
Well, we all say stand. Let's make a circle. Let's stand. Let's come together. Got some emotion to express.
Again.
Ujima to Pasa.
Come on in, brothers and sisters. Everybody looking so wonderful today, even in the midst of the dark clouds, the rain and the dampness. Everybody, we found us, well, a lot of us found our way here. More of y'all should have come on out today, but the ones that did, we're grateful that you came out, as well as those of you that chose to join us on Zoom. And so, lift every voice.
Rejoicing, rise as the listening sky. Let it resound loud as the roaring sing a song full of hope that the present bright. It's in the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
One feet. One feet. One feet. One feet. One eight.
One aim,
God. I said one God.
one God,
One God.
one God.
And we want to call on the names of that God as our people have done time before it. For the sake.
Amen.
Beautiful people on the face of this earth. I said. And thank you for those who watched us on Zoom.